This is still level 1 and it's lesson 3 now. We're drawing a giggling baby. We're still gonna draw a box, block things out some more, and draw the details. And then the finished touches and adjustments as usual. The finished drawing is below. For people in YouTube, the link of the finished drawing is in the description below. You want to observe the finished drawing while following my steps instead of blindly following my steps. So observe the finished drawing of mine. Also, I suggest you draw your pictures in a sketchbook. When you doodle, you can doodle anywhere. But when you want to sit down and put your time into drawing something, draw it in a sketchbook. This way you can see how much you've grown after you drew a few pictures. And very important, when I say pause and explain what to do when you pause the video and draw the steps. Constantly observe the finished drawing when the video is paused. Let's start. When we block things out, we will use very light lines because some help lines will be erased later. So we don't want to make things super dark and hard to erase. First, estimate the height and width of the entire baby and mark out the height and width. Then draw a box according to the mark you made to make things more visible. Now pause the video, block out the proportion of the baby's entire size like I did. Remember to observe the final picture and measure with your eyes. See approximately how long is width compared to height, and height half the size, 2/3 or more or less. Do your measurement, but don't use ruler. Now we will dive into the second round of blocking out, which will go into a little more detail and block out the big things. First, mark out where the head and body meets, and also mark out where approximately the leg and feet begins horizontally. Then block out approximately where the body is vertically. Then where the head begins and ends vertically. As you can see, the head is a bit tilted. Then block out the feet, it's at the end of the legs, tilted as well. Then mark out the arm, how it's tilted, the approximate size of the hand as I've drawn here. The approximate size of the bucket. The approximate direction of the legs. And maybe draw a middle line in the head because that's where the eyes starts. Now you can pause the video. Very important, look at how much everything is tilted, how big it is compared to the things around it, how wide the thing in the final drawing is, the body, the arm, the feet, the head, the bucket. Look at everything. Compare everything before you draw. When you are blocking it out, if you feel it's wrong, you can erase it and adjust it. Do it until it's correct. Okay, now you can go block these things out. Now is the third round of block things out. So we will block out some of the small things as well. First, I marked out the center of the face vertically. Then where the mouth is, where the eyes are, the shape of head roughly, the body, tummy area, and where the shirt of the baby starts. Refine the shape of the arms a bit more. Block out the edge of the bucket, where the pants of the baby ends, the rough shape of the shoes, then go back to block out the mouth, the pigtails, block out the shape of the face and ear, the shape of the shirt. Okay, now you can pause the video, observe the final drawing of mine when you block these things out. When you forgot what to block out, take a look at the paused screen, but only use the paused screen as a guideline of what to draw. For accuracy and where to draw everything, observe my final drawing. So now block out the details and hope you do a good job at it. Now that we block things out, we're gonna draw the details. Oops! One little detail I forgot to block out in the last part, which is the eyebrow, so I'm gonna do it now. Okay, now I'm gonna draw the details. Look at the process of how I draw the details and how I did it. Here I feel the cheeks I drew is too wide, so I erased it and redrew it. Make sure you observe the final picture when you draw it, so you don't make the same mistake I did. When you draw eyes, start from top eyelid, then the shape of the eyeball. Be aware of the shape of the eyes is not a perfect circle. Then I add highlight of eyes, which is a little circle at the corner of eyes. Eyebrow. After drawing the mouth, you can add the chin as well. Now when you draw the hand, you can draw the thumb. Draw the bucket round. Because bucket is round, basically make it 3D. This little curve is the thumb of the other hand. Draw the pants, make it 3D, like make the lines look round instead of a straight line, because it wraps around your legs and the legs are round. Draw the feet, pay attention to the detail of the bottom of the shoe. I'm fixing it up a little bit more to be more accurate. Draw the shape of the leg. Now the other sides, feet and leg. Now you can pause the video, make sure you observe the final drawing and make it look as much like the final drawing as possible. It's practicing your observation skills. You can draw it in order of how I drew it or in your own order, but make sure you observe the final drawing. You can erase and adjust as always when you feel something you drew is not right. But before you draw anything, you should already be observing first. You can use a bit darker lines now that you're drawing the details, but don't go overly dark that it cannot be erased. Now go and start drawing and hope you do a good job at it. Now you can erase some of the help lines. Here's how I erased them. You don't have to do it the same order I did, but you can take a look at what I erased. Now pause the video. Remember, don't erase useful lines. Only erase lines that are no longer useful. So you can look at what I erased as your reference. Now you can start erasing. Now the finishing touches. Adjust anything you feel is not accurate, not correct, or looked off, or you feel it's not as carefully drawn as it should be, and also add more details and shading. Then I draw the eyes. I first draw the pupil, then shade. Remember the pupil is darker than the rest of the eyes, and also don't shade the highlight of the eyes. I added little round shape on the cheeks because it's cute and babies are cute. I fix up the mouth. Now I'm fixing the shoe on the right side. Now the shoe on the left side. Then right shoe again. Then fix things up a little more. Okay, now you can pause the video. Other than the final details of the eyes, you need to follow my steps. Other parts, you can observe the final drawing of mine and see what you're missing. What part you still didn't do right, or just didn't seem right. You can fix them. Now start the finished touches. Take your time and do a really good job at it. Okay, now that you're done, let's add the date so you know when you drew this picture. You can add your name as well. Here you are done.